What's up? This is Yuda for BeatLab. This is a new series of videos called Should I Buy It? And we're going to talk about some plugins. We're going to start with Spectrasonics Omnisphere. Let's check it out. Okay, so I've been using Omnisphere since back in the day when it used to be called Atmosphere. It's quite expensive, so that's the first thing that I would say that will deter people from purchasing it. But let's check out the capabilities. I have it loaded up here in Ableton. Okay, sweet, let's check it out. First, let's talk about the sound library. So the sound library here is humongous. I think more than 10,000 sounds, and they're even adding more as we speak. I'm sure they're working on a lot of new stuff. They're always updating it for years and years. And what's nice about this library, it's first of all, the categorization here is amazing. You can go to a category, then you can go to a model or a type. And there's so many here. You can also expand the browser to go even into more detail and see all the details about the patches themselves. Have a preview if you want to preview it. Nice. Let's turn off the preview. Excellent. Okay, let's close the browser. Now, a few other additions here to the browser that I'm absolutely in love with is the ability to map the up and down presets to your MIDI controller. So I'm just going to right click and choose Enable Host Automation. And now if I open up the configure section in Ableton, I see I have those, and I can of course map them. I have a small MIDI controller here. I can map it to wherever. So now I can just switch presets. I can switch presets with my MIDI controller, which is amazing. You don't have to worry about program changes or using your mouse. God forbid. Okay, excellent. You can of course randomize here the presets. Amazing stuff. Another really incredible capability of the sound library here is that you can choose a sound. Let's say I like this sound, but I want to choose something else. I want to layer it with something similar. So I can click sound match, and that will actually give us all the sounds in the library that are somewhat similar to that sound using their tag system. So amazing stuff. Even if you find a sound that you like, you can match current selection and give you a new list of all the sounds that are similar to that one. Incredible. Okay, so that's probably one of the strongest thing about Omnisphere, the library. If you own other products of Spectrasonics like Trillion, which is for bass, or Keyscape, which is for more keys, pianos, electric pianos and stuff like that, you can access all of them through Omnisphere, which is incredible. It will save you time or even computer power to load different instances of the plugins. So I do have Trillion. So you can see there's even the classic Atmosphere library included. And I can choose them from here, and they will be included in this browser because I'm navigating all Spectrasonics presets. Amazing. Now beyond that, it's quite a ridiculous synthesizer. Completely ridiculous. So right now we have, let me initialize this. I'm gonna clear multi. Nice, okay, so just a basic sound. We don't even have a sound. So let's go to oscillator A. I'm just gonna choose here. I'm gonna choose a synth. Here we go. Basic sound. So there's so many things you can do here. It does have 4 oscillators right here. Each oscillator can be a sample base with all the huge library of samples, and you can even upload your own sample and do, you'll see, you do whatever you want to it. So let's go back there to the synth. Even the synth itself, there's so many different waveforms. Like, it's ridiculous. Every menu that you go and open in Omnisphere is just endless. So you are capable of not even touching the synth because you have the library. But if you do want to go in, there's crazy stuff in the oscillator. All this wave shaping, symmetry and shape, hard syncing. You have FM built in, ring modulation, more wave shaping in a matter of reducing the beat depth and beat crashing. Crazy unison section if you want to make those super saw sounds for all kinds of EDM music, and some R&B even, they use it a lot. Harmonizer, it's kind of like the chord MIDI effect in Ableton, which is very cool, and the granulator, which you can also create some insane stuff immediately with some, some smeared pads and eerie soundscapes. And this is on a synth, but if we take a sample, it might sound a bit... Here we go. Okay, nice. So the oscillator can do so much. You have the filter section, and again, I'm going to open the menu. There's no reason to really go over it. If you do want an in-depth Omnisphere tutorials, let us know in the comment section. We'll make it happen. But let's open it up. And this is just the low-pass filters. So ridiculous amounts. It's what, like, or forever you can go over them and mess around with them. You can even go inside the filters. You'll see here you have a dual filter, so you can combine them in all sorts of ways, parallel and serial. You have presets for combinations of filters. Okay, really insane stuff. Okay. Modulation, LFOs, you have A2 LFOs that you can use in all sorts of ways. A lot of different waveforms here. You can delay them. Cool stuff. Envelopes, amp and filter envelope are separate for each oscillator or for each layer. You have 4 of them, but the modulation envelopes are shared between all the oscillators. Now, I don't really like this view so much. You can kind of make multi-stage envelopes, as much as you want, which is awesome. But it's not as comfortable to work with as other synthesizers that I experienced. So just want to shoot out that this is one of my only downsides in Omnisphere. The user interface of the envelopes is not the most friendly to me. Nice. Here's the matrix. You have so many sources. So many sources to just map, route whatever you want into anything that you want. Okay, you can even right click and then modulate with anything. It's crazy. We can go inside the matrix, see the matrix, bunch of stuff here, inverting, right, smoothing out the curves, all those different things. So many different pages, so you can do a lot of different modulations, and it's endless. Endless. Nice. In the main section, there's some cool stuff here that you won't see in so many synthesizers. It's great to see those things. For example, the scale. You can change the tuning of the instrument. So instead of being just the equal temperament Western, like we know, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, it can be many different things between those notes, between the C and C sharp, and between the D and D sharp and all of those. We get a lot of different types of tuning, a lot of different types of frequency relationships. So it's very interesting. If you do choose one of the tunings and it's completely different than the other ones, I would recommend maybe tuning all your instruments for that project, for that scale or for that tuning. Nice glide on everything, solo, okay, and all the sustain. It even solves you the sustain problem. Some people have their sustain pedal is reversed. It's just genius. Okay, now we're not even done. We have the effects section. I wish Omnisphere, Spectrasonics, please guys. By the way, those Spectrasonics are based in Burbank, California. Really great company. They're very close to us. Guys, please make the effects available just as effects. For example, Serum. Serum has Serum effects. It's just the effects section available as a plugin. Amazing effects here. So many great effects for Omnisphere. Incredible. So those are the comments between all the 4 layers. On each layer you can put 4 effects. Crazy. And there's also an auxiliary that you can send each effect, each layer to. Here is the arpeggiator, which is extremely capable, and they just upgraded it to even more crazy stuff. Like each step, you can do a chord, you can do a slide over whatever you want, dividing the step into more steps. Just crazy stuff. Really crazy stuff. Let me go back to just loading a synth here. And let's close the grain. There's so many presets here you can do, combos. Insane stuff. Now, if you do something you like in one of these effects or arpeggiators, you can actually lock anything here, all this stuff, the arpeggiator, the polyphony amount, the pitch bend range, you can lock them, so when you change the presets, it's actually keep them. It's amazing. I love that feature. More and more synthesizers have this. But this shows development of many years of plugin development. They adding more and more stuff. They're learning from what the artists that use it, and the company listens. The company listens and add more and more stuff. We'll get to the modern stuff in a second. Excellent. Okay. Now, all of these layers is just one out of 8 different multis. Okay, you have 8 different multis, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. So let's load the multi. Let's do stacked patterns. Yes. Right? So here we have 6 different layers. We can go to the multi and see all of them. Here's the mixer, panning, auxiliary effects, a bunch of stuff. You can even output them to different channels. So it's a multi-timbral instrument, meaning that now I can open up a new track in Ableton. Let's open up a new MIDI track. Go to Instruments, External Instrument. And I'm going to set the external instrument to send MIDI to the Omnisphere. And let's do MIDI channel 2. Audio from B, good. So this is already channel 2. And let's do out B. Nice. And now if I go up an octave, because just this, it's stacked, let's see how you can even stack different layers on different MIDI notes. So here it's a bit higher in the octave, but we can see that now it's on a separate track in Ableton because I set it up to output B in Omnisphere and getting triggered from channel 2. That's why we use this external instrument. If I go down an octave, right, it's playing. Nice. So you can even have 8 different tracks in Ableton, each with a different sound, and it's all from one Omnisphere, which is incredible. So this is the global effect. You even have more effects for everything. You do have this live triggering, which will immediately change patches. It can even be synchronized, so it's changing the patch in the next bar or the next beat, and it allows you to have a live performance that it's streamlined. That is just the keyboard, your keyboard is split, or your instrument is split, or you have ability to quickly change the sounds. Which also takes us to the orb, which has an accompanying iPad app, which can do a bunch of crazy things to map things and to add gravity to this, you see, to this orb that keep morphing different parameters. Okay, so this is some of an overview of the capabilities that they had. They just added this new type of feature which allow you to take any synthesizer, all the synthesizers in this list, and immediately have them mapped to Omnisphere, or have Omnisphere mapped to those synths, which is incredible because we always have plugins that we love, plugins that we use all the time, and we wish we had that, you know, hands-on control that we have with hardware synthesizers that add part to the experience, of course, because you actually interact with the instrument physically and not only visually with the same tool as the keyboard and mouse. So what this does, if you have any one of these synths, you can select it and it will immediately, we don't need setup instructions, no thank you. It will immediately map your controller to your synthesizer, to Omnisphere, and all the things in the controller, the cutoff, the oscillators, everything will be mapped accordingly to Omnisphere, and you will also get a bunch of presets inspired by those synthesizers. So amazing stuff. If you want to see more of this in action, we have a bunch of synths downstairs in the live room. We can do a separate video just demonstrating all the synths that we have, like the Arturia. They don't even have Arturia here. I'm sure they will add it soon, but we have the Dave Smith, Sequential, Prophet 12. We have a bunch of synths downstairs, all the Korg ones. So let us know if you want to see that. We can do a separate video. So, should you get it? Should you buy Omnisphere? I would say for anyone who needs a library of hybrid sounds, meaning a lot of organic type of sounds and a lot of synthesizers, synth-based sounds, this is incredible because it just allows you to work fast, to work quickly, and go between a lot of different sounds and use all these capabilities of the browser that we talked about. It is expensive. It's like $500 synth. So, and you do need a lot of space also, like 60 or 80 gigs of space. You can also install the library on an external hard drive, but it does require a lot of space and it is expensive, but I love it. I use it for my workflow, just going through sounds, and whenever I need and want, it is also able to go super in depth with so many options of customization, making your own sounds, even with your own recorded sounds and not only synth-based. I did forget to mention one thing before we go on, before we move on. Right here, they do have one effect that they added in recent updates called inner space, where it's emulating as if your sound was resonating through all these different types of things, like air blow your sound, or fire through fire, blasmic process, bubble space, transients, wood clacker, just hitting your sound through a wood, and that's how it resonates. Unclear, amazing, definitely worth experimenting with. Check that out. So Omnisphere, I would say if you have the budget, if you have the space, the megabytes, absolutely get it.